Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get-started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are the hosts of the I Don't Think So podcast. Each episode we discuss a different story, theory, or mystery and decide if we think it's believable or if we really don't think so.
Here at the I Don't Think So podcast, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports, and we present our theories on your favorite place to listen to podcasts every Wednesday. If you like what you hear, give us a rating or leave a comment and follow us on our socials at I Don't Think So _EH, or check out our YouTube channel, IDTS Conspiracies.
Heck yeah. You know, sleigh bells ring, are you listening? We're in Christmas time.
And we're still the award nominated.
Yeah!
I Don't Think So podcast. You have till Friday, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, you have until Friday to cast your final votes.
Yeah, go ahead and vote for us. If you also are in there, please vote for some of Flurry Sports' other podcasts, such as
the Flurry Sports podcast and Lombardi Sweep.
Yeah.
And I think Fantasy Football by Committee might be.
I think that's on there. I also think Zach Bruner himself is up for a vote.
Maybe. I think under like the people.
Yeah, he's not like a podcast.
Social media presence, I think.
Yeah. But if you want to go and give us a vote, we'd appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay too. Anyway. But you can check that out at the Volume 1 website.
Correct.
Ooh.
But now we're back to the sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Woo! December did kind of sneak up on me a little bit, just because I feel like November was the first chunk of November might have been the longest part of the month I've ever been in.
I agree. November felt like a year and also 3 days at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like the back half of November, from like November 17th to now felt like it didn't exist. It just went boom, boom, and it was done. But we're in December, and I love December.
I did too. Got all my decorations up.
Oh, I got all my Christmas villages out. I got this fake snow this year, and I was like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna look. It looks so
it's really
nice.
Cute. Yeah, I saw a picture of it or a video. I would also say that it's very cute.
Thank you. I was like, and then there's room for more.
Perfect.
Which I was like, heck yeah, everybody. And everyone, my mom's like, oh, you're gonna have to build another one. And I was like, I know.
Oh, I know.
I know. I'm gonna have a forest.
Does it disassemble that little peg thing?
I'd have to unscrew it.
Oh, so how are you going to store that?
So originally I wasn't planning on screwing the whole thing together, and then it was a little bit wobbly.
Sure.
But I'm also debating on just leaving it up all year and using it as a plant stand.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's my other thought.
I thought you were going to be like, I just debated on leaving my Christmas village.
I also debated on that, and then I was like, no. Then it ruins the magic sometimes.
Mm-hmm. The plant stand's a good idea, though.
Yeah, the only thing is I've stapled garland to the outside of it, and I don't know if I want to rip that. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, was stapling garland to it.
Yeah. I don't know how you could, like, attach it without it
stapled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, is there a way for me to, like, do a less permanent option? And no. So it's on there. I was thinking when it's a plant stand, I'll just try and cover it.
With what? Yeah.
Plans.
Perfect.
That's my plan as of today.
I like it. As of this very moment. You're hearing it live.
As of this second that we're talking about it. That's what I'm thinking. I've decided. But as we usher in a new month, we actually usher in a new theme as well. And so this month, I was trying to think about, like, what do I think of when we come around the holiday season? And for me, it's a lot of like stories and kind of like traditions and heritage and those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so our theme for this month, this is news to Hannah.
I love that every month I get to.
I'm so upset. I have to pick the theme every month.
I should help accommodate some of that stuff. But it's always fun to get surprised on air.
Gosh, I was like, I feel like I have to be the first of the month every month. And that's how it works when there's only two of us. But
I feel like it should have, like, every other at some point. Hasn't
it
happened
hasn't
yet.
happened yet. I don't know what happened.
Mm-mm.
We just perfectly skipped it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so our theme for the month is kind of folklore tales, tying into that a little bit of like creatures and what are they called? Cryptids. There it is.
Okay.
Kind of more folklore though. Folklore, legends and things. What was
Myths and legends.
Myths and legends.
The camp thing.
There it was. I was like, we had a camp.
We did.
There was a camp. That's what I was vibing with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, Hannah, I want to talk to you this week. It's Christmassy.
I was thinking, like, are we talking like Krampus?
Absolutely.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about Krampus or I think it's Krampus.
Krampus? I don't know.
Krampus.
Krampus?
He just comes up. He comes up and challenges you to a dance fight.
It's like the fake fight, like the boom, boom. Like, what is it? Step up. That, can we just take a moment? I say we're leaving space.
We're leaving space
for that moment where the guy is dancing around Hayden Panettiere and fake fighting her. Yuck.
And she's like, oh, hot. And I'm over here like, that. I didn't know
He's
what
fight. Ugh.
I didn't know what the ick was at that point in time, but I had it. I was like, that's the least like hot thing a person has ever done.
It was uncomfy.
And she's just like, wow.
And I was like 8 and I was uncomfy.
You're like, ugh.
Sorry, Krampus.
Yes. So Krampus has gotten a lot more traction or a lot more notoriety and visibility, especially in the last years, as there was a movie that did come out about it. It's kind of a darker side of Christmas, and this is where Krampus kind of comes in. So a lot of us don't like to, like, when you think of Christmas, you think of like caroling and lights and heartwarming melodies, and it's joy and it's merry and it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this Krampus comes from German culture, and it's kind of that like.
Of course it does.
Germans can't have anything, you know.
They're so serious all the time.
But it's kind of that yin to the yang.
Sure.
Or yang to yin, I guess, in this darker to light. Anywho,
you know.
Yeah. This darker side is best embodied by Krampus. He's a fearsome creature with cloven hooves, dark fur, and ominous horns, who will emerge from the shadows to terrorize the naughty children of the world.
Yikes.
So
he looks like a demon.
He's a demon, basically.
Ugh.
But he wears red.
Festive.
So a little bit of his origins. The roots of the Krampus folklore can be traced back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions. So before Christianity spread across the region, the locals celebrated many pagan rituals, one of which honored Krampus.
Oh.
He was seen as like the antithesis of Saint Nick or Santa Claus.
Right.
While Santa rewards good children with presents, Krampus gives out punishments to those who misbehaved.
Ooh.
So instead of getting gold in your stocking, you get
punished.
Krampus.
Discipline.
The name Krampus is derived from the Old High German word Krampen, which means claw. This is fitting.
Is that why my muscles are cramping?
The claw.
Does kind of feel like there's a claw in my calf.
Honestly. This is fitting considering Krampus's depiction as a beastly creature with long taloned fingers, always eager to snatch away mischievous children.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. As Christianity kind of gained a foothold in Europe, many pagan customs and characters, including Krampus, were kind of like mushed with the Christian traditions.
Sure.
By the Middle Ages, Krampus had found his place in the Christian winter festivities, particularly in Alpine regions. So now in a lot of the Alpine regions, they still hold Krampus festivals, and it's the scariest thing you've ever seen. There's one video that I got to see where it's like literally men dressed as Krampuses, and there's like, you know, in Spain they do like the running of the bulls.
Yes.
It's like that,
but people dressed up as Krampus,
and they have sticks, and if they catch you, they beat the living shit out of you.
It sounds awful.
It's insane. And I'm like, one guy fell, and they were like, they
like
ran up and like
beating you while you're down.
They like ran up and kicked him. I was like, what?
Jeez, that's wild.
And then one person's like, no, and then got like just hit
Decked?
so many times with a stick.
Oh God.
I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah, no.
Oh, couldn't do it. In countries like Austria, Germany, Hungary, and Slovenia, December 5th became known as Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht?
Probably.
Nacht. It's night.
Like night. Yeah.
Yeah, Krampus night. Yeah. On this night, men would dress as Krampus and roam the streets, terrifying children with chains and belts.
And this all just seems like a fake way to
Scare children.
Scare children into obedience.
And if it works, great. The following day, December 6th, is celebrated as St. Nicholas Day, when good children will receive gifts and sweets.
Oh.
Yeah. Despite periodic efforts by the church and governments to ban or suppress the Krampus celebrations, deeming them too pagan or disruptive, the tradition persists and still, in some regions, is thriving.
This, I feel like, should qualify under emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm. You know why? In recent decades, the tale of Krampus has experienced a revival and has transcended its Alpine roots. This can be caused by a couple different factors and probably a combination of them. So, media representatives, movies, TV shows, and literature have brought Krampus into a global audience. Films like Krampus, released in 2015, portraying the creature in more of a modern light, sparked interest among those who are pretty much unfamiliar with the legend.
Sure.
I'll give it. I didn't know what he was until the movie came out.
Correct. Same. And it was like just a horror movie, like a Christmas horror movie.
Yeah. All I remember about it, I watched it one time. There was fog, right? Fog or a lot of snow. Because you like.
I don't think I ever
right?
actually saw it. I think I only saw the preview for it.
That's not helpful.
And then in the, this is very specific, in the Santa Claus, like Disney Plus series, I think he's in that too.
Creepy. Why is he
But
there?
like less scary for kids. Like it's still scary, but like
Not
think Haunted Mansion scary.
right.
What
It's
is
all.
that called? Santa Claus.
Isn't it called just like The Claus or something?
I don't know. Continue. I'm gonna think about this because it's like fits into the like.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Also, a cultural exchange. As people traveled or migrated from the Alpine regions, they carried the Krampus story with them, sharing it among like new communities and new cultures. Countercultural appeal in an age where traditional holiday celebrations are often seen as like overly commercialized.
Sure.
The edgy and dark allure of Krampus offers kind of that counter narrative to the typical sweetness of the season.
What everyone needs.
I want it to be a little more spooky.
More fear.
Absolutely.
More anxiety. More depression.
No kidding. I'm like, this is where I kind of go back to like, you need to do a lot to like be a decently behaved child.
Right.
I gotta say I had my things. But like, you know what I didn't need? You to tell me a story of like, hey, if you don't like
Obey us, you're gonna be
obey-
like visited by a demon that's going to punish you.
not just punish you, like steal you away. Like that was also what he would do. Is like
Or they
children
watch
would go
the
missing and they're
festival
like-
and they think they're gonna get beat with a stick,
I'm telling you, it was the craziest video. I was like, what are we doing?
right?
And then events and parades. Many towns and cities in Europe and even now in the U.S. have annual Krampus parades or Krampus runs. I told you. Participants don costumes and masks, transforming them into beastly creatures and exchange in like chases. It likes to say mock chases. I would just like to say
It looked very real to you.
They like beat people. They like beat people up. Like not even close. Like it was like bam. It was so weird. So a little bit more of like Krampus-y vibes, I guess. It's like there's also Europeans have been exchanging greeting cards featuring Krampus since the 19th century. And this is called, why is there so many words that are so long? Ready for this? Krampus carton. I'm
Ooh.
pretty sure. Krampus carton.
Krampus carton.
Sometimes introduced with like greetings from Krampus. The cards usually have like funny little rhymes and poems in them. And he's often like featured looming menacingly over children in these cards.
Yuck.
He's shown as having one human foot and one cloven foot. And in some cultures, he's like depicted as being a little more like hot.
Jokes. Oh, hot.
Like sometimes they'll like
Bestiality? Yes.
kind of like in a lot of these drawings he'll like
Have abs?
no, like he'll have like the butt of a woman.
So it's not a man, it's a woman?
But no, it's literally like demon with a nice ass
with a cake.
with some booty back there.
He's got drunk in his trunk.
Which every time I read that, I was like, why? It sounds like someone's got something going on.
I
at
feel like
home.
they're just like, are you questioning your sexuality? Look at this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to punish you because you find me attractive.
It's like just weird. It's just weird. But over time, the representation of Krampus in the cards has kind of changed. So older versions have a much more frightening depiction of him because he was supposed to be like
Feared?
feared, murdered children, you know?
Yikes.
And now he's a little bit more like Cupid-y and like like, oh, he's kind of cutesy. Like he's just a little misunderstood troll.
Ew.
So it is very much just kind of an odd thing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the background of Krampus. But I found a little Reddit story for you
Oh, perfect.
where someone talks a little, well, if I can get to it. Hold on, everyone. But talks a little bit about my experience with Krampus.
The Redditors.
The Redditors, yeah, not
Okay.
me. Emily. I was a great
I'm
kid.
like, you posted on Reddit about a Krampus story?
Correct. No, I'm just kidding. I'm more of a lurker on Reddit.
Same. I've never posted anything on Reddit, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
If I have, it's been on accident.
That's my worst nightmare.
That's and it's gonna be something stupid too,
like a butt dial, but as a post.
But what if I'm like talking and it's like picks up just middle conversation? Anyways, this is on the scary stories thread, and it is my experience with Krampus. I was only 6 years old when it happened back in 2009. I lived in a small town near Florida, the Florida tip of the Bermuda Triangle. There's the Bermuda Triangle. Back in our usual conversation where it deserves to be.
There you go. All the conspiracies are looming back.
I knew it.
Uh-huh.
I was going to elementary school that year. I remember fantasizing about piloting a jet to fire a missile onto the school.
Whoa! What?
I hated going there and leaving my parents to learn. I hated the way the teachers taught me. Most of all, I was one.
So
of-
we got a school shooters Reddit post about Krampus?
I was one of the kids The bullies often made fun of or beat up the kid who wasn't Christian.
Does that have to? Okay.
The teachers never seemed to care. We were in a Christian school, and the kid was thinking of transferring soon and going to a Montessori school.
The Redditor.
The Redditor.
Okay.
If English is not his first language, I need to be nice because he's talking in he's jumping back and forth between first person and third person.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
So this boy said, or the Redditor said, I suspect you have more insults and fists for me today. Hold on. Oh! Good God, I don't like English is... Apparently the kid was not the kid getting picked on. He was a kid who was the bully. He was the bully.
Makes sense.
He often beat up the kid who wasn't Christian, and the kid was scared of him.
So you're a really bad person.
Yeah.
You're a bully and a future school shooter.
You sound like you suck. He would say back to the kid, you're never going to get on the nice list for sure. He yelled back, wait for the dreaded Krampus gets you. He'll get you and all of your sick gang. This
Snaps for the kid being bullied.
Sure. And then I said, no, you're going to get coal. And then the kid shouted, Krampus girl, Krampus girl, Krampus girl. And he kept chanting it over and over again.
Yikes.
True or... And then they got it. We're not reading the story. The story sucks. Sorry.
We're so far in, we have to know how it ends. You can't give up on it now.
I'm telling you, we are here. Look how much more we have to go.
Just spark notes it for us. That's so long. You have to keep scrolling.
Anyways,
So you
apparently
you didn't check your sources ahead of time.
I kind of scrolled and read a little bit here and there, and I went, yeah, it seems fine. Anyways, award-nominated podcast, everybody.
I hope this is your first episode.
I hope you came here. All right. Oh my God, I lost my thing. There it is. Found us. The last day before Christmas break, the teacher gave us a surprise exam about Christ. One of the questions jumped off the page.
This is a Christian school.
Yes.
Okay.
True or false? God loves you and forgives you for your sins.
That's I'm sorry, even for a Christian school, that's a wild question.
That kid answered false, and I answered true. The day after our report cards came in, the atheist kid got a very bad grade, and I got the good ones. But the question kept echoing in my mind. Days went by, and I couldn't get the weird feeling that kid wasn't so naughty after all. I kept getting strange feelings all over my body, like maybe the Christian school was the evil thing, and that boy's chant kept ringing in my head. Krampus girl, Krampus girl, Krampus girl. On Christmas Eve, I had been getting the stockings put up, the chimney ready for Santa, and the tree decorated with the help of my family. Mom was great. She helped me believe in everything and that there was a God. On the tree, we hung ornaments, reindeer, Santa, and Jesus in the manger. This is very Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The whole day, though, the question got louder and louder in my head. True or false? God loves you and forgives you for all your sins. And the boy's chant kept ringing, but on that day, it was getting much louder than anything else, to the point where I was getting a migraine. It's getting hard to take that day while we were decorating. I just went to lay down, take a break. Never seemed to help. Dad said that I had to stay up and finish decorations, or I'd be on the naughty list. So I hung up the last ornament and walked off to bed. I knew the earlier I slept, the earlier Christmas would come. I woke up to find myself inside something I couldn't describe. The only light inside was that of a lamp hidden. There were other kids and people with me. They exchanged worried glances. The kids inside with me were simply confused. It felt like we were moving in a vehicle of some sort. I found myself sitting on pins and needles for a moment. When I looked down to see what was giving me a feeling, I froze. Sticks of various sizes, shapes, and forms, random rocks scattered out below my legs. I looked around to see if I could find someone I knew, and I realized that some of the kids here were the classmates in my school, and I looked around to find the boy I had bullied, only to notice he was nowhere to be found. I talked to my closest friend. Hey, Addie, I whispered, what do you think's going on? I don't know, Mary, she replied in a hushed tone, but I think we messed up. How so? I asked. I think Trey wished this on us and then talked to one of the adults. What's happening? I asked. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. How do you know who I am? I'm Sarah's mom. She told me a lot about you. I'm Janice's mom, Mary. I'm sure if we pray, we'll be home safe. Mama, shut up. I'm telling you, the story is getting so confusing. When you were a child. What happened?
So they dreaming that they're the
I
mom?
don't know.
Is this like a movie?
I don't know. Anyways, it dawned on me that me, my classmates, my family, and their families were being kidnapped. We were in a bag, and it all made sense.
Oh, so it's like a dream, but they were confused?
I think so. Krampus took us. I cried out, help, help. Quiet, nasty little girl, a gravelly voice came out. Help, help. Everyone cried out. Dad's voice was cut off with a large, creepy voice. Don't you make a noise. I heard a muffled snap, and I looked to Dad. He was pinned down by the sticks, as if the sticks couldn't snap, and as if they were magical. We all got quiet after that. The thing that we were in opened only to show a view of the creepy, nasty-looking face with horns protruding from the head, and it spoke in the same gravelly voice. Now you people have been very naughty. It dawned on me I was seeing Krampus, and the boy I bullied told me I'd get this fate. We were dumped out into this strange snowy spout in the forest of some sort. Not many of us were wearing coats, all of us in our pajamas. He then looked at a paper and appeared to be reading off it. The list goes on. He had brought hundreds of people. I can only think many weren't from the U.S. I saw lots of blondes, a lot of people who spoke some language I don't recognize. It dawned on me that they were Christians. I only figured this out because I recognized their method of praying. My name had been the first one on the list that he read. We were forced by these strange, creepy things to the center of the circle all at once. Krampus left the surrounding area for a minute, then something like a net dropped down on us. We struggled to get out, but with no avail. It's like we were caught in a web. And then I sniffed, and there was a smell of smoke. We all exchanged worried glances, and suddenly an adult yelled out something I couldn't quite comprehend. But when I noticed the fire, I realized she was telling us that she was on fire. We were trying to run for safety, stop, drop, and roll, but soon we were all caught in raging flames. And I wonder why the boy I bullied wasn't even in with us. Then the flames were put out in some way. First a burning flame, then a cold water splash just to make us freeze. And that was burned away. I knew it was only the start. Then the strange things came back. I felt a sharp pain on my cheek. The things then tied us up and hung us upside down from the trees.
Whoa.
I heard cries of agony. We were getting whipped on our backs and head by these strange things. I was crying too, but it was far worse than it sounded. I was crying in pain and fear, but it seemed to make the things happy. The adults were getting more beatings than the children. Then we were forced to sit through a long poem read by Krampus about the true spirit of being a human being and about what God really does. And each line was followed with Krampus scratching the chalkboard with his claws while holding the paper in the other hand. After that, they got thrown back in the bag. And the children all shared a face that said they were never going to forget this. And then they got dropped off at home.
Wild.
Voila.
Well, I guess.
That was a terrible story. I apologize. Anyways, a little bit more about Krampus for you.
This is your warning to not bully some kid that believes in Krampus, because you're going to get kidnapped in the middle of the night and
With your entire family.
hung
And
upside down and beaten.
a really confusing story about it.
Also, it's like, so are they not Christian anymore?
They were Christian. I don't know. All I know is that story didn't make a ton of sense. The real Krampus is supposed to be like the yang to
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick. So it's a very much like formally Christian tradition.
Got it.
That story was just not my finest moment of the podcast.
You know what? I liked it.
Oh, thanks.
I did. It was good. It was a little terrifying.
When I'm reading, I'm like, none of this makes sense.
I was following along. Great.
Great. I hope everyone else was too, because I'm sitting there being like, why are we switching between I and they? And
I think
we?
you fixed it enough as you were sharing
Oh, good.
that it made sense.
Yeah. A lot of pronouns in there that didn't make sense.
No.
Mama, what do you mean?
It was mom.
What's mom? I thought you were 6.
Anywho, well, good start to our December.
Yeah.
If you have any myths or legends or creepy cryptid Christmas, whatever, that's what it is. A creepy cryptid Christmas.
Oh no. A creepy Christmas cream.
Creepy cryptid Christmas. And then we can continue to investigate for the rest of the month.
Heck yeah. And if you have any cool Krampus stories, feel free to send them my way.
That make more sense and use less pronouns.
Use fewer pronouns. Make a lot more sense. Maybe they don't need to be that long. And I'll read them fully before we jump on air. Good Lord.
But you get what you get here at the I Don't Think So podcast.
We're
And
raw. We're unfiltered.
you can tell
There's
that.
a ladybug crawling across
Ooh, fun.
the screen.
It's not scripted at all.
No.
Anywho, if you like what you hear, definitely leave a comment, rate our show, follow us on our socials at I Don't Think So _EH, or check out our YouTube channel at IDTS Conspiracies, and we will see you next week. Bye.